All right, Captain David Stokes. Everybody that's listening, David here is the legend that put two blue marlin, right? Two blue marlin on the pontoon. And the best part about this whole story is somebody sent me the first photo, and remember it was kind of blurry with the picture of the boat with the outriggers, and I got a message sent to me. It was like, hey, there's this jackass out at 40 miles out on a pontoon with fuel tanks and everything. and I was like, okay, well, let's, we shared the photo. And then I got another one later in the day with you guys flying a flag. And then remember I put the pole on it. Like, what did I say?
Well, that was the second day.
That was the second day.
Flying a flag.
Yeah.
We brought a flag.
But remember when I had
just in case.
Remember when I did the poll though? What did I say? I was like, what the question was, how did they do? Did they fuck them up, or did they run out of gas, or did
what
they?
Was the middle one?
Did they sink or something like that?
Yeah, did they sink?
Yeah. So that poll went on, and then the next day the footage came in of you guys. I mean, blue marlin just running. So
yeah, that was a fish Friday.
Okay,
and that fish was hung.
Yeah,
when we hooked it up, if she could have got a camera on earlier, it would have been epic because it tail walked all the way up by the boat. I'll run ahead, and it's coming back the other way. And then finally, she got a camera on it, and it was head shaking, and then made a couple jumps at the end, and that fish put on a show.
This is day one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was on a 80-pound leader with just a dink rig, pink sea witch, and a ballyhoo.
30 wide, right?
Yeah, on a 30 with 50 on it.
So you weren't marlin fishing that day?
Yeah, I was mahi fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hooked up.
Yeah.
So let's go back. The pontoon. Tell me about the rig. First of all, what like you've been on boats your whole life, right? I mean,
yes.
You charter captain, been fishing your ass off forever. You're finally retired. You fished on a bunch of different kinds of boats, right?
Yes.
Why are you fishing on a pontoon now?
Well, it started, I had bought a 24-foot Harris pontoon boat in like 1990, and I was going to run river tours and stuff out of my parents' restaurant there down the hatch. And we were doing eco tours and all that with it, and then we tried to rent it, and none of that worked out back then. So turned it into a mullet boat. So I was using that as a mullet boat, and they were making fun of it, the mullet barge, this, that. But little they know that thing held 4,000 pounds of mullet.
Jesus.
And I would cut holes in it. I knew it was good and stable because I would chase the mullet out the inlet. And, even went into the surf and had to make a few rescues, like 3 years in a row when people lost their power. One guy went overboard in the surf. I had to go in and get him. And
damn,
the boat, was impressive because I could come back and just go right through a 6-foot breaker and just wash across there and flood right on out. But I drilled some holes up on the sides.
I think you stuffed them with foam, right? Didn't you?
Well, I stuffed the bottom with foam. I was telling you. Yeah, in between the deck, I put plating on the bottom, which they all have the plating on the bottom now, like my Godfrey has the plating.
So you've had this pontoon for a while.
Well, no.
Okay, wait.
The new boat, this is my old boat,
this is
1990, yeah.
Okay.
That's how I got into pontoons. And then I had another one that my father-in-law gave me. I had that for a while, just strictly freshwater and whatever.
Yeah.
But then my new pontoon that I got now for crappie fishing, that's the one that I'm fishing offshore on.
What's the setup?
It's a Tritoon Godfrey.
Okay. Gotcha.
24 foot. It's got a 200 Suzuki on it, 4-stroke. But it's very economical.
Yeah. How many lines you pulling?
5. I didn't over push it, so we were pulling like 6 lines mahi fishing. And then on Saturday when I put the lures out, I could only run 4. But I only have 4 strong rod holders that I have on the ski bar that I clamped on there.
Any teasers, dredges out, or
No,
so?
just 4 lures.
So what outriggers do you have? Like, I mean, how do you?
Uh,
I'm just trying to vision it. Like, how do you
well,
have it all set up?
my friend gave me 2 nice Rupp outriggers. They're probably 12, maybe 15 foot.
Okay.
So I bought them outrigger holders that clamp on. They actually have the ones that clamp onto the square tubing now, which worked out perfect on the back side of my canopy. It clamped right on there.
Yeah.
But when I was testing it and everything, it kept wanting to spin because they have a little nylon thing in there.
Yeah.
So I just took a roofing tech screw and drilled a hole and drilled it up into the tubing. And it's holding good now.
Okay. So
I rigged them up.
And it works great.
Yeah, I got my bungees. I just drilled a hole through the side rail, and it's beautiful. It worked great. I got 2 lines, short, long on each side.
It's like, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people were talking shit about it, and then you actually pulled it off. And another question a lot of people ask, like, I mean, what's your range? I mean, how far do you want to go with fuel? And
well, it's getting like 2.6 miles a gallon running. And I went out there exactly about 58 nautical miles and back. And I did put more fuel in, but then when I refueled, it burned exactly 40 gallons.
Okay.
And it holds 42 gallons in the tank.
Do you, did it get any sporty at all? Did it eat it up pretty good, or like, how was the weather that day?
That day was beautiful. Yeah, you got to plan your weather.
Absolutely.
So it was beautiful both days, actually, Friday and Saturday. But we got in by 2:00 on both days before the afternoon sea breeze kicks up. You got to play that in the factor.
Yeah.
A pontoon boat offshore.
And how many did you have on board? It's family trip, right? Didn't you say you?
Well, on Friday, I think there were 4 of us Friday, and then just 3 of us on Saturday.
It's a freaking awesome story, man.
All right, guys, this week's episode is brought to you by Turtlebox. Turtlebox is becoming the best waterproof and Bluetooth speaker in the industry. They are basically indestructible. You can throw them in the water. You can run them over with your car. I bring it everywhere. Besides just the boat, I have it on the beach. I have it working out at the house. They freaking crank. I'm telling you guys, the best speaker in the industry. So check them out.
And go back a little bit to your history, though, on the water, because a lot of people tell me, like, I guess Christian and all them, I mean, you're pretty local legend. What do they call you, Booger?
Booger is my nickname.
Why is that?
I just started years ago.
Yeah.
24 hours.
And
a long story.
For the people that are listening, though, like, don't think, like...
At the races at Daytona is when it started.
No, but for people listening, because everybody assumed, like, oh, he's just... like an unexperienced fisherman on a pontoon boat, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true, man. Like, you've been a commercial fisherman. You're very well, like, know the water very, very well. You've helped save people off the beach all the time. And I think you were the only one to be able to pull off of releasing a blue marlin on a pontoon boat that I've ever heard of. I don't know.
Well, supposedly documented, they caught them in kayaks.
I've seen
canoes and wakeboards or whatever, but nobody's really documented one.
No, but your
on a pontoon boat.
I think the whole rig, the whole setup on the pontoon was badass.
Oh yeah, it's got a 40-gallon live well on the back.
No shit.
Yeah.
What else?
On the rod holder. It's a Godfrey sport fish model.
Okay.
And that's sort of why I bought the boat.
Shout out to them. I think we need to.
I kept looking for one that was fishability. It's even got 2 fighting chairs. Two fighting chairs in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Have you gone back out since and tried again, or?
We went out one day and just did inshore wreck fishing, and then I did the snapper day. We went out and got our snappers.
I guess my question
I've been
is
offshore twice since then with the boat.
Okay. Well, but
we're out about 30 miles on those 2 trips. Because off Daytona, as you know, to catch fish, you got to run pretty good.
Where's the break usually?
Well, the Gulfstream's usually out there 35 to 50 miles, somewhere back in there, back and forth. So
it's crazy, man.
And bottom fishing and stuff, you got to go at least 20 to 30 miles.
Okay.
Usually.
My question though, still though, like, why a pontoon? Like, why? Because you built boats in the past. I remember you telling me about that. Like, why don't you, if you're gonna fish, why don't you stick to like your V-hole boats that you've always grew up having?
Well, because they're 100,
I know.
they're 150 to $600,000.
No, I get that, but you
And
you
I
can
use-
still find a good boat.
Yeah, I use my friends' boats, and I also, still fish tournaments on big sport fishers and all that. So my pontoon boat's for my lake house.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you bring that
I
back.
have it in a lift, and it stays all nice, and do a lot of spec fishing now.
So, and
Just started a couple years.
are you going to be tournament fishing with this thing?
Well, that's what the wife said.
I think you should, man.
We have this Mahi championship that I can fish any 2 days in May. So get 2 glassy days in May. Might be able to win the thing.
You should bring it up
Because there was lots of boats around me trolling those 2 days, and I'm the only boat that caught 2 blue marlin. So I'm thinking, and we caught quite a few mahi. So I think the fish were saying, "Whoa, what's this? Oh, that thing's harmless. That's not a normal boat. It might catch me."
Yeah.
Let's bite that bait.
Well, some people swear by this, that it's just
Yeah.
a fishy boats, Like, I know a lot of guys on sport fishes, they say, this boat's fishy, this one's not. Maybe the pontoon's just a fishy boat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, what got me laughing so hard was we got a 30 wide with 50 on it. So not a whole lot on there, but we still had plenty by the time we got all settled down. And this fish was going straight away pretty hard. And I got backing down on it. We're not taking no water in the back or nothing. And I look up, we're doing like 12 and a half knots.
backing down.
Mm-hmm. But we were going with the current, I think, a little
Okay.
bit sideways. I sort of didn't really notice that, but yeah, I think it'll back down at 15 knots.
That was going to be a question of mine because I was,
Because the pontoon, it just planes out in reverse, sort of.
yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And no water comes in on the deck or nothing.
Yeah, it's not like it's going to be drawn down or nothing.
Because since I did it, I sort of did a test at the lake, and I backed down pretty hard, and that thing just flew.
How hard?
Well, got up there about 12 knots real quick, and I let off. I didn't want to.
So it works great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in a center console, it's different. Like
Yeah.
when we caught one this summer on a center console, well, we didn't, it broke off, but we had to run up on the bow. So we usually leave like teaser on either starboard or port side and leave the one side open so
Right.
we can run up on the bow and chase it that way. I mean, you can't really back down on a center console. So that was going to be my question. Like, do you guys chase it up on the bow? But it doesn't sound like you can do that because you got probably your bimini top and all that, and your
Yeah,
outriggers are down low.
It was just more comfortable in the back, on the fish on Saturday, which ate a lure on a planer rod with a 150-pound Power Pro
Okay.
and a 300-pound leader. We had him on the right tackle
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
day, but that fish was only like 130 pounds maybe, and it was tough. I mean, right off the get-go, he just sounded straight down. He didn't jump or nothing. And,
The footage I saw
just
from
stayed down and had to work for that fish
Really?
a little bit, even on that heavy tackle.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one I saw on Friday, that thing looked like a blast fishing for, though, on that light tackle. How big was that, you think?
It's 100, 130.
Yeah.
And they're same as the one on Saturday. They're
Yeah.
about the same size fish.
Yeah, man. Were the people you had on board, were they experienced at all, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Guy from Kentucky. He had fished BBC tournaments with me for years back in the 90s.
That's cool.
He was one of my regular Bahama Billfish Championship
Okay.
charter.
That's so.
Yeah,
I think
so-
it's funny as hell, though, because you guys were not going out there to try to catch a marlin at all.
No. But now I did go out to the shed and grab 4 lures on the second day.
Because you knew where they were.
I said, we get tired of mahi fish. I'm going to throw the lures out.
And what do you know?
And 15 minutes after we got the 4 lures out, we got tired of shagging grass. It was horrible. And like 12:45, I said, let's throw the lures off and make a loop offshore a little more, even though we were in like 350 foot in. So we put them out 15 minutes. We're out there in 530 foot. I looked and said, whoa, I thought it was maybe a cooter or something, but then it started building up speed on a, 21 pounds of drag or so on the lure. So yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Were you
So,
shocked? Like the first?
Yeah, I was a little shocked
Yeah.
on the second day. First day, I was, first I thought it was a sailfish, then I said, no, blue marlin. You can see on the videos.
I heard you yelling, blue marlin, blue marlin. What
See him jump.
did anybody else nearby have a day like that, or?
There was a couple blues seen that day.
Yeah.
That was it. One was, I think there's maybe one more released.
The blue marlin bite by us has been on fire this year.
Mhm.
I think they're still catching them up by us, which is usually pretty late. Yeah, man, what a crazy story though. I just love how the reaction on social media was. Did you guys? You didn't get like any phone calls or anything like?
I don't really do Instagram much. I have
Yeah.
a few posts and all that, and my daughter does it for me. But I forget who. Someone called me or something and said, you got to look up. It was a coastal reef fade that did the first post. Someone did a post on there, and then they shared it from there, and I think you got it.
I saw it on
others
Facebook
and-
first.
You saw it on Facebook?
Yeah, and then when I saw it there, I just saw the picture. It was a blurry photo. It wasn't
Right.
from that. It's somebody that was fishing
That was the one
nearby
that
you.
started it, the blurry photo.
Because somebody
Picture.
fishing nearby you took the photo, and they were like, like I said, talking shit. They're like, "Who the hell's this guy out here fishing on a?"
It looks like if the fish jumping next to me. There was a black boat that pulled up Saturday. It was trolling and sort of stopped, and I thought he had hooked up next to me, but maybe he was just stopped there watching us because he seen us backing down.
That is freaking
So,
awesome,
yeah.
man. Did it ever?
That might have been who took the picture because you can see the boats maneuvering around a little bit. So, yeah.
I think you need to upgrade. You might need to put twins on the thing.
Well, wait for Godfrey to sponsor me with my new.
Well, we'll
My
tag
new-
him in this.
Yeah, I already designed the 6-inch pontoons, and I got a bow on it like a China aircraft carrier.
This is gonna be you're gonna be the next like
Yeah.
legend on the water with a pontoon. I think you need to keep
I'm ready
up with
for
it.
them to build me a offshore
They
model.
should do a custom
For
like,
e-
pontoon
Check
sport fish
the
boat.
economy and all that. And with that plating under there, I'm riding dry as a bone in 3 to 5 foot side 2Cs. You saw that video where
Yeah.
I'm coming out of the water. I'm coming by this Panga type boat, and they're taking walls of water. And I'm coming by drinking my beer, waved at them dry as a bone. Didn't even have my slicker on. That's why that guy, the famous bass fisherman Tyler Wolcott, is going, look at them, they're coming by, they're riding better than we are.
How
Yeah.
what's your speed out? How fast you running?
About 25, 26 knots,
Yeah.
30 mile an hour or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gets along pretty good.
And you're staying dry up front too on the bow?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I when I worked
When you get more people on there, like when we go to snapper fishing with 8 people, I'm only going about 24, 25 mile an hour, but it's still dry.
yeah, catamarans always used to be wet for me up front. Like when we used to run a couple when I worked with Cito and we get soaking wet on a following sea. But sounds like the pontoon's the way to go. Maybe we should start towing boats with pontoon boats. No,
But that tri-tune, it holds the weight a lot better and all that. And, you got to be careful not to dip the bow naturally and
yeah.
hurt somebody or something. So it has its limitations. You got to keep it trimmed up and, pay attention. You don't want to get anything, head sea 3 to 5 foot. You got to back her way down.
If there's anything
But
it
it doesn't like to dip. This
No.
Godfrey with the tri-tune, I haven't really dipped the bow running at all or anything. Just when you slow way down, it's like 2, 3 or 4 foot. It might dip one here and there, but the water just runs right out.
yeah.
Because I got a little gap on the rail about this deep. It just flows out everywhere.
You make a good point with all this.
Yeah. And you can't really sink
Yeah.
because it's got 9 air chambers on it,
Yeah.
or more if you count the ones in the front and the back. I think it's 12.
I'm so excited to see people's reactions after this. But if you were to change anything on the boat or customize it how you want to, what would you do?
Well, I was already thinking about that. I want to move maybe it's got a little nice cockpit in the back, about, half of the size of this room back there already. So I don't know. Just get a bigger one.
Would you
We got more room.
put the console center, like in the center, or
The console's all right on the side.
okay?
Because you don't really take spray
Yeah.
much, because it's got a lip, it comes out on the hull about that far. So all the water that hits the pontoons under that lip and sprays out. It's actually pretty dry.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to see the next upgrade though. I want to I'm just thinking can you put a T-top on there so the outriggers are out of the way? But I mean, sounds like why even mess with it if you got it dialed in as it is.
Oh, I was having fun with my daughter. I was drawing up my new pontoon boat, but it's pretty badass. It's got hydrofoils that come down on the hydraulics like them sea legs.
Yeah.
And it comes all the way up out of the water, the jack plate coming out the back, coming down.
And you have
we're
all
gonna get a hydrofoil. Well, I was joking. I was gonna take it to Godfrey because Polaris owns them, and say, "Hey, I want to build a hydrofoil pontoon boat," and just see what they say. I was hoping that they'd have a booth here today, but
they don't. You should come to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show,
Yeah.
or I don't even know if they'd be there. They might be. Do you guys?
I can't imagine a pontoon boat coming by you on hydrofoils.
Be kind of badass.
And it's got to get a big giant jack plate to come down. I can't see why it wouldn't lift right out of the water and roll. I'm on to something.
I think you are, man. I've never seen it. Have you? I don't.
It can be done with the technology now. Them hydraulic sea legs, like they're docking the boats. They put the sea legs under pontoons now to go on the beach. Why not put a ski on that thing and a jack plate and
I wonder how would it be backing down on a fish? I guess
those will be retracted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When you get out there.
Oh man. Did you guys how long was the fight on the first one?
That Friday fish, it's pretty tough. It's probably 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
once we got around the boat, that was quite an ordeal. Because my wife, she couldn't drive very well. And then I said, all right, well, you're going to bill it. And then that I did it. Didn't go too good. So, yeah, I got her dialed in. And actually, we were backing up in reverse. I had her backing up in reverse while I got a hold of him. And, I had a hold of the bill a couple of times. He snatched it out and he popped an 80-pound leader.
Okay.
It was on Friday.
Okay.
Now, the one Saturday, he wasn't going anywhere. He was hooked right through the bill.
Okay.
On a 300-pound leader. So once we had him boat side, but he was still frisky the whole time. I was trying not to get hurt, trying to get my lure back and unhook him.
That's one thing.
And that took, it took him about 40 minutes to catch it, to get it up to the boat. And then probably took me 5 to 10 minutes to get the hook out.
Uh-huh.
Because he wasn't cooperating.
A lot of people I've watched. I'm not really a big marlin fisher, but I've won a couple times this year, and a couple of the guys I know that do it for a living, they were telling me hey, that fish, do not ever underestimate that fish when you go down to release that hook or anything. I mean, it's something that I don't have the experience with, but you probably know as well as me. They are strong fish.
Well, you can see in the pictures how lit up he is.
Yeah.
He was still very green at boat side.
Very well alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was trying to be careful and get the hook out. We're getting hooked with the other hook, a double hook lure rig on a blue and white Pacula
Okay.
lure.
That's awesome, man. When you guys got back to the dock with the flag, was there anybody that you ran into saying anything or asking questions?
There was a couple of people Thumbs up, yeah. Because we just had the flag. I tied it on the end of the rod in the back
I
holder.
saw that, man.
They didn't really know what the hell was going on with that.
Nobody like at the dock that like where they
Because we have to put all the rods down and everything to put the top down. We get on the trailer. Because in Ponce Inlet, they don't trim the trees, so you don't have much headroom for a boat down there. Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know,
Get up
man.
Down the road.
It was just an iconic photo when I got that, when the flag and everybody was just so freaking stoked on that. And I don't know. I when I heard about it, I was like, I got to get his number somehow. I finally got a hold of you, and I was like, let's just meet here since we're here in Florida. Let's do the conversation real quick.
Mhm.
I think the next plan is we get a hold of what's the pontoon that you have? What's the name of the company?
Godfrey.
Godfrey. We need to get a hold of them, man, and let's build we can maybe try to build something.
Yeah, at the boat ramp, there was no one. We were trying to get someone to take our picture because my buddy John Matt Miller from Kentucky, I wanted him in the picture, and there was no one there to really take a picture. That's one guy. He was busy, whatever. So that's who took the picture. The guy that caught the fish.
Okay, good for
At the
him.
boat. Yeah.
Shout out to what's his name again?
John Matt Miller.
So he was the angler.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Both days.
Okay. Okay, so before we wrap it up here, what tournaments next that you're considering fishing with this?
Well, the only one I considered so far would be this Mahi Championship, which is a local tournament right out of Daytona Beach there, and St. Augustine. I think in Canaveral, they have a weigh in Canaveral.
Okay.
There are the 3 inlets. Yeah, and they had over 100 boats and over $200,000 last year. But you can pick your 2 days in May, so that'd be a cool tournament to win with the pontoon boat.
What are the dates?
Even though I'll still be fishing on my other guy that I normally fishing with.
Okay.
2 days, so it's all any day of May.
Okay. All right.
So the
I
whole
think
month of
we're gonna
May.
have to come do a trip down here and watch
You
the
can come.
weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come fishing with you.
Oh, a lot of my friends, they were all joking, the comments and all that. So when are you backing in the Big Rock with this thing?
I'm telling you, man, you're retired. You're.
But the weather is too rough up there every year.
No, it's not. I think this year was bad. But if
And
there's a
last
weather
year.
window, would you consider it?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't think you're going to get the weather window up there. But it's running the same distance as off here.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Actually, maybe shorter.
It's-
What are you doing? 40 miles here?
Yeah.
50?
But up Big
Yeah, it's
Rock,
like 40.
same 40, 50 mile
Yeah.
area range. Yeah. 40, 60.
We should
So-
bring it up to Outer Banks and go put yellowfin tuna on it. Like big yellowfin.
Well, I wanted to take it maybe to Venice, head offshore there and catch some.
Well, man,
Yeah.
I want to come and join you on one of these. We'll bring a camera and do all this stuff, but for now, keep doing it. In my advice, I'd say just go for it. Be the pontoon legend.
Well, when the sailfish get back off Daytona in October, which they do every year, maybe we'll go out there and catch 9 or 10 on it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody hold you back.
Yeah. You can come do that with us.
I will.
All right.
All right, brother. Hey, thank you for
All right.
hopping on, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome.